How's it going, boys and girls? Chris Card's back through the mail Monday. 5 returns for you today. Our first one coming from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hope everyone out there had a great weekend. September 19th, October right around the corner. Pumpkins are starting to pop up in the stores around me. It's throwing me for a loop. And the weather is getting a little cooler, thankfully. Don't miss that heat. And we've got Juan Berenguer for our first return. 15-year career with 8 different teams, mainly with the Twins and Tigers for 4 years. Won a World Series with the Tigers in 84 and a World Series with the Twins in 87. Didn't play in the World Series in 84, but he was an integral part of that Twins team. Probably his best year was in 87. 2-time World Series champion. Played until 1998, man. He played in Mexican League and the Winter Ball. He just kept playing until his arm fell off, basically. So, very nice return from Juan Berenguer. $10 this cost me. Yeah, you can go through Pass Pros, and it's like $7 a piece. But some of these guys kind of sign on the side if you throw them a little cash. So I got all these cards signed for my sets, the 84 and 87 Topps cards and 89 Upper Deck cards. So really nice to get these 4 taken care of. Juan Berenguer, the Berenguer Boogie. Yes, that's a real music video you can find on YouTube, and it is hideous. If you so desire to check it out, I warned you. Let's move on to return number 2. All right, guys, let's see what we can do for an encore. Our next return from Kansas City, Mo. Kansas City, Missouri. We got Willie Aikens signed there nicely on the 84 Topps card. Very nice indeed. Another card here, 84 Topps traded. He had some issues with the Blue Jays, drug issues. We had some drug issues with the Royals as well. It really derailed his career. In fact, they made a movie on his career called The Royal, which came out a couple months ago, actually. Haven't checked it out yet, but, baseball movie about drugs and this guy. George Brad, Jamie Quirk, they had a lot of, they were doing a lot of football betting, and the FBI was kind of like, hey, knock it off, and so they stopped betting on football. But what the FBI was really doing was telling them to stop doing the cocaine stuff, because that's what they got busted for, and that's what Willie got busted for. He kept doing it anyway. Couldn't take the hint, pretty much ruined his career. 1994, sentenced to 20 years in prison for drug trafficking, and that was some harsh penalties back in the day, because the drug laws, which have since changed, actually, they cite his sentencing for the reason it was changed, but he still spent 14 years in the slammer. Really got blackballed from the major leagues. He went on to do pretty well in the minors league. Never got called up after 1985. Went on to play in the Mexican League for the next few years. In fact, he had 454 in the Mexican League, the highest average in that league ever. And still couldn't get a sniff in the majors after that. So really screwed up his own life. Of course, a nice redemption story. I'm sure that's what the Royal is about. So there's a nice return from Willie Aikens, $5 a card, $10 for these 2 cards from my 84 Topps set. Beautifully signed. Quick return from Willie Aikens. Awesome return. Let's move on to return number 3. San Diego, California on this envelope. It's upside down, but there it is, San Diego, California. A lot of cards in this envelope. Let's see who our 4th return is. I think this is our 4th return. I can never keep track. I usually screw that part up. I apologize. We got Kurt Stillwell in a team bag. We got 2 team bags full of Kurt Stillwell cards. Sent him a bunch of cards, and I told him to keep the extras as he is wont to do. That was my justification for setting a bunch of cards, because, one for me, one for you, right? It appears he kept a few, maybe. So, I got most of my doubles back here. I'm going to have to look at the envelope, my send-off envelope, to find out what I actually sent him. But there's 87 Donruss, signed beautifully. 88 Topps Tiffany, signed beautifully. 87 Fleer, glossy. Those are the glossy versions. Also signed very nice. We got 89 Upper Deck in here, as well as 87 Topps. I did ask for inscriptions on both of these. 88 All-Star, 88 All-Star. There's 87 Topps Tiffany, and of course 89 Upper Deck. And there you guys go. Can you please inscribe the first 2 cards? 88 All-Star. Those are the sets I am collecting, the autograph sets that some of you guys are probably aware of that I'm collecting right now. I make videos of them every single week. And yeah, those are going to be inscribed and put into the binder. Very nice returns from him. I'm going to have to look at my send-off envelope to find out what he kept, because I got most of my doubles back. Let's check this out, guys. Give me a second. All right, here we go. Looking at the same picture you guys are looking at. Looks like he actually kept the 88 Fleer and the Leaf cards. So it looks like I sent him 2 Fleer and 2 Leaf, and he kept all 4 of those cards. So I was trying to get him to keep 1 of each. Looks like I only sent 1 87 Topps, 1 on Upper Deck. So I'm glad he didn't actually, keep those, because I needed those for my sets. But Yeah, thank you for the inscriptions. I sent all the doubles I could find. Please keep them. Well, there you guys go. I mean, if you guys feel guilty about sending a bunch of cards, double up on them and tell them to keep the extras. And if they do, great. If they don't, hell, you got more autographed cards back in the mail. So that's what you get. Kurt Stillwell, this took a long time to get back to me. I think I sent him 2 or 3 returns in the time I waited for this. That's why I was wondering if this was actually a combination of several returns, but after looking at this send-off picture, it is not. It was 1 return. I sent him 12 cards. I do remember sending him all these cards now, but it was sort of a trade deal where I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to want a couple inscriptions, but here's like, and they were beautiful cards, man. I sent him the glossies and the Tiffany's, too, to keep, so... And he didn't. He sent those back and kept the score. I keep calling it score. The Fleer, 88 Fleer, and the Leaf, thinking maybe he doesn't see those cards very often. So maybe he saw them and was like, hey, these are different looking. So spent 4 years on the Royals, getting a lot of Royals back. Is that our 3rd straight Royal? 9 years 9 years in the bigs, and currently an advisor to Scott Boras Corporation. So that's probably why he's living in Cali right now, and that's probably why he can afford to live in Cali right now. So second generation player Ron Stillwell. His father played for the Senators in 61, 62, and that is it, guys. That's a long one. Sorry about that. Let's move on to our next return. All right, gang, moving right along. Portland, Oregon for this one. Strange, my neck of the woods here with a Yogi Berra stamp, which means I sent this off to a stadium or a current player or someone that's really, really hard to get. And I don't think I sent off to anybody recently that's really, really hard to get with a Yogi Berra stamp. But we got Jed Lowry back. Jed Lowry, who had a miserable career on the Mets, 9 games in a 2-year career he spent there. Dreadful. 2018 All-Star, signed this card beautifully. It's funny, when he was with the Mets, I sent him an A's Topps Living card to sign. And now that he's with the A's, I sent him a Mets card to sign. So glad he signed this finally. I think I sent this earlier in the year to Oakland. And he was released on August 10th of 2022. So he was released about a month ago from the A's. So I guess he's back home in Salem, Oregon, where him and his wife collect vintage wine and wine bottles and have hundreds and hundreds apparently at their house. And Salem is just about 20-30 minutes from my home, so that's pretty cool. In fact, I got a restaurant in Salem. I wonder if he's ever been there. I don't think, if he came in, I probably wouldn't recognize him. So I'm not very good at spotting professional athletes in the wild unless they're quite obviously like if Aaron Judge like came into an Arby's for like a beef and cheddar and I saw him, I'd be like, oh my God, it's Aaron Judge. I did see, who did I see? I saw Scott Brocious and his family at a Sun Mountain Fun Center. You know, they got like go-karts and putt-putt golf and an arcade and all that stuff in a bowling alley. I saw him there in Bend, Oregon, probably, 15-20 years ago now, but I didn't bother him because I'm like, he was with his family. But then some kid went up with the baseball and had him sign a baseball. So go figure. Oh well, I didn't have anything for him to sign anyway. But it's pretty cool seeing Scott Brocious there. And I guess he's a coach at McMinnville College, which is actually not that far from me either in McMinnville. So that's pretty much my only brush with players that I actually kind of recognized. But there you guys go. Awesome return from Jed Lowry, who's 38 years old and probably done with baseball. So there you guys go. I'm curious to see if his home address ends up on the sportscollectors.net because I'll Google that and see where it's at and see what kind of house he's got. Zillow it, see like, oh, okay, nice house, nice flooring, a nice yard. I once Zillowed Gary Carter's old house when he was trying to sell it after he passed and he had all his stuff in there still, and that was pretty cool, man. I looked at all the pictures and stuff. Anybody ever do that? Maybe it's just me, but that stuff's fascinating, I think. So, all right, guys, let's move on to our grand finale. That's right, another Yogi Berra stamped return. Who could this be? Who could this be? All right, gang, here we go. Chattanooga, Tennessee for our final return of the day with the Yogi Berra stamp on it. I can't imagine who this is. Blank index card, and we got Doug Simons. Doug Simons, not sure why I put the Yogi Berra stamp on here. Doug Simons, Team Jesus, as you can tell, he is coach of either a Christian college or a Christian school team, high school team. So got the 92 winners card signed. I love getting those cards signed, and inscribed all of these with the Bible verses. He played 42 games for the Mets in 91 and 7 games with the Expos in 92. He was traded from the Mets to the Expos for some guy named Katzeroff. Neither team made out very well with that deal. Katsarov doesn't have a Wikipedia page, and Doug Simons only played in 7 games for the Spos. Spent the rest of his career in the minors up until about 98, 99. Went on to become a pitching coach, a scout, doing this, that, and the other, and as I said, ended up as a coach at a Christian school. There is his information. For whatever reason, I thought this was a tough one to get, but it was not, so whatever. I don't know why I put the Yogi Bear stamp on there, but there you guys go. There's information. Good little signer, 90% on SCN, so I'm not sure why I put the Yogi Bear stamp on there, but whatever. Had lots of cool cards I wanted to get signed, despite his lackluster career. Really happy to get these back, signed very nicely, and who doesn't, I don't care if it's an all-star or whatever, or a guy that's only played a few games, getting these cards signed is pretty awesome no matter what. And that'll do it for this week's Through the Mail Monday, number 192, I think we're at. Awesome returns from everybody today. Willie Aikens, Kurt Stillwell, that was kind of a shocker, getting that back after all this time. Juan Berenguer, and of course Jed Lowry, Doug Simons. Hope everyone out there enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I do this every single week. Would love to have you along for the ride. And that is it, my friends. Hope everyone out there has a great week. And I got to tell you what, man, the good TTMers have been dropping like flies of late, and not necessarily like super old guys either. So I got a list here of people that have recently passed that were great signers. We got Mark Littell, who was, of course, on the Cardinals World Series team back in '82. In fact, he was just at the little gathering they had about end of August, middle of August, when they had all the players there, and they were playing that really obnoxious organ music for the whole ceremony, and they made all these guys get out of these pickup trucks, and they were like, super old and like out of, they can't move very well, and they're trying to get out of these back of these beds of these pickup trucks. Got to watch the video on YouTube. It's St. Louis Cardinals. I think it's the 40th anniversary of their World Series championship back in '82, and so you can see that. And Mark Littell was one of the guys there, and just passed away a few weeks ago. Just a few weeks after that. Same with John Stearns. John Stearns was just at Mets Old Timers Day back 3 weeks ago now, and he just passed. So he had cancer, I guess, and was rough shape back at Old Timers Day, and glad he made it for that. But John Stearns, another great signer. Ray Ripplemeyer, of course, he super old. He was a great signer, as well as John Gamble, another good signer. He only played for about a year, but I think he had a 74 Topps card out there that I got signed eventually. I know about last year, a lot of the players started dying, and I was like, I should do a more in memoriam for some of these guys, because they were great signers and deserve a little bit of recognition aside from their baseball playing days. They also were great for the hobby, the TTM hobby that we all love. And John Stearns, Mark Littell, John Gamble, Ray Ripplemeyer, and Ken Frailing as well. Frailing probably popularized being on the 74 Topps Frank Tanana rookie card, along with Kevin Coble and Vic Alberry. So another card I'm trying to get all 4 to sign. I think I got Frailing to sign a couple of them, and Tanana as well. So I'm going to figure out how to get the rest signed, maybe, if I can even do that. I mean, these guys are going so fast, it's hard to keep up. So RIP all those guys I mentioned, great signers. Ray Ripplemeyer, he played back in 1962. Just a cup of coffee, but he had a couple cards that were pretty sweet. Remember getting them signed not that long ago. So there you guys have it. Yeah, a bunch of guys passed this year. So yeah, I should do one of those, like, what do the Oscars do it? The in memoriam. I should do that for the best of the best as far as TTMers are concerned. So Jeremy Giambi would not be on that list, but neither would Jeff Innes. But Gene Clines would be there for sure. Absolutely. And a few other classics that have gone the way of the dodo this year. Let's see. Pete Ward, guy in my neck of the woods, Lake Oswego, Oregon. He passed, as well as Tommy Davis for $15. You can get him to sign through that Los Angeles company. I forgot what it's called, but they have like a bunch of Dodgers all signed up on their little $15 autograph deal. So, all right, now I'm rambling. Dick Schofield. Did he sign? I thought he was... No, his son signs. I think Dick Schofield signed pretty well up until a couple of years ago. And I think he kind of dropped off the map. So anyway, now I'm just rambling, guys. I'm making this video much longer than it is. And I understand the psychology of you guys clicking on a video and seeing it's 12 minutes long. And then you're like, I can't listen. I can't watch this for 12 minutes. And you're skipping the first return, second return, third, fourth. Okay, maybe we'll get to the very end. Maybe just go right to the end and see like the photos and stuff, like the autographed cards I got, and you figure it out. If there's anyone interested, you go back and look at it. But I don't know how you guys watch these videos. You know, you got lots of metrics and stuff from YouTube that tell you when people click off videos and this, that, and the other. I don't care. I love making these videos. sure a few of you watched the whole thing, like as intended, and for those that don't, that's fine as well. So, hope you got to hear my in memoriam list. Yeah, maybe I'll do one of those end of the year. Hell, at this rate, I can do end of the month in memoriams because they're going quick. It's a bummer. So, I mean, it just makes me think to myself, chasing these 74 top sets, 84, 87 tops, and even 89 upper deck. I mean, I got to get these cards in the mailbox and get these guys that are still signing and still around. So it just gives me a renewed urgency to get some of this stuff done before I'm going on eBay and having to buy these cards, which they're not that expensive. These guys have signed a lot of cards. They're not expensive because they're not signing anymore, but it's nice to be able to send off my own cards and link all of those cards I put in my sets back to the TTM videos, which is what I do for those set videos I make. So, all right, guys, that's it. Another Through the Mill Monday in the books. Thanks a lot for watching. Let's go Mets. And next week we'll do another one of these. See ya.